Hi everyone, this is Marianne with my update about my One Book July 2022. I have an intro video on my channel and I will link it down below. But now that July is over and August is already upon us, well, at least where I am in the world, I can now give an update about how it went. And the long and short of it is, I have done nothing. I had two options for One Book July. One option was to scan my planner and journal archives into high resolution electronic image files and shred the originals. Another option was for me to start the habit of journaling my dreams. I have done neither. Not for lack of trying, I did try, but I couldn't do any of those. I had no time and I had no energy, and chronic illness, exacerbated by menopause, reared its ugly head. And I could only focus on one major thing for July, which was to finish writing my novel, which I did. I submitted it to the publisher on July 9th, like I promised, and I have a vlog series about that, which I will link down below. But I also decided to rewrite the ending of that novel, which I submitted in July 9, because I felt that the ending that I submitted was a little flat. And the rewriting wasn't easy. I knew I could go many different ways, and I had to make a choice, and it was the making of that choice that wasn't easy. But it's done now, the ending is coming along nicely, and that is why I wasn't able to do any of the two options that I have laid out for myself for One Book July. But after this, what did I realize about myself? I realized a couple of things. Number one, I can no longer multitask like I used to. I used to do that a lot. Most of my adult life, I was multitasking and I was productive and I was happy. And as recent as February and March of 2021, I was still able to work on two completely different projects at the same time. I wrote my thesis proposal, and at the same time, I also edited chapter 1 of my novel for submission to a National Writers Workshop. I worked on both projects at the same time every day for about a month. That for me is multitasking for two major writing projects, and I did fine. Now, July 2022, just over a year later, I can no longer multitask. My brain is different somehow. I have to adjust my workflow processes accordingly. Number two realization, I need to take better care of my health. My work as a writer, and for now also as an academic scholar, is very sedentary. There's a lot of sitting and even more sitting for hours and hours every day, and I forget the time always. So I end up working without a break, which is not good. As they say, sitting is the new smoking. So if I'm going to sit and work, I am going to put on my compression socks, which I should have been doing all along, all this time, but I haven't been doing it. It's very bad of me. But I'm doing it now. I also need to exercise daily, maybe just some brisk walking every late afternoon around my house. You've seen the outside of my house. I will link that vlog video down below. The area is very conducive to walking, and I just haven't been out walking. I will do that now. Number three realization, I will no longer write short stories, or maybe that's a decision, but here's what made me decide to do that. This decision to no longer write short stories is what I have decided on when I attended the class on writing when chronically ill with Gigi Silverman. It was a class under the Clarion West Write-a-thon. It was really an eye-opener. It's not only that I'm chronically ill with a thyroid condition, with chronic venous insufficiency, with anxiety, and with depression, but it is also because I do not have the time and the energy to slog through the massive and extremely competitive short story market. there's a lot out there. And there are so many phenomenal short story writers out there who are literally experts at doing it. And there are also so many publications that pay. And there's even an online portal now for going through all of that, which I will link down below so you can have a look at how many there are. But I have no energy and time for all of that, let alone the time and energy to create short work because it's different. I've done that. I've written short stories individually and as a collection when I was younger. But now I just don't have the energy anymore for that kind of brain work to hold on, separate short ideas. I just don't have energy for that kind of brain work now. So from now on, I will just write long work, novels, novellas, and novelettes. In English, which is all the language that I ever used for writing, and only literary fiction, which I am trained to write by virtue of an academic education. And to be more specific, I prefer to focus on the subgenres of magical realism and absurdist and gothic. Not necessarily gothic horror, just gothic. And that is it. That's all I have the energy for. Long work, very long work in English. So, three things. Number one, I can no longer multitask, so I have to adjust my workflow processes accordingly. Number two, I have to take better care of my health. Number three, I am no longer going to write short stories. Well, those are what I have realized about myself when I was supposed to be doing my One Book July this year. I have done none of the challenges I have laid out, like I said, but I came out of that with three important things that will now dictate how I'm going to live my life from this moment on. So that is it. That is my update for One Book July 2022. It's not a total loss because I have realized some things, but I still do have to journal and I still do have to scan and shred my archives. Like you would not believe. I really have to do these. And I'll get to these. I will get to them someday. Well, thanks for watching. Bye.